I don't watch TikTok. I thought I saw you watching videos. Oh, no, I watch Facebook Reels. I don't do the TikTok thing, the Chinese, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, Chinese, my privacy's too important. I watch videos on Facebook. I watch TikTok videos on Facebook.
Yeah, because Zuckerberg doesn't sell our information.
Right. I'm like, motherfucker, you are a redneck from Eastern Kentucky. What the fuck does the Chinese government want with your damn viewing history? What's up? Tell me something good.
Something good.
Yeah.
I did learn, pretty cool thing, how I would like to fish. Because for me, are you a fisherman?
I'll tell you a real quick story. I took my oldest son, fishing when he was about 5 years old or something. And I thought, well, that's what you do as a dad. You take your boy out fishing.
Especially Eastern Kentucky, right?
Yeah, and he had asked about going fishing, and so I took him fishing. And he literally, I taught him how to throw his line out there, and he's got his little floater on it, and he's standing there. Maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes goes by, and he looks at me and says, boy, this sure isn't like nothing on TV. And I said, nope. And that about sums up my fishing experience, too, really. I mean, I had that house out there that had the big pond, and it was neat being able to go down there in the summer and cast the line out and catch a fucking big-ass bass immediately, because shooting literally fish in a barrel is a little fucking tiny farm pond. Anything hits the water, a big bass hits. Yeah. But that was neat for the 5 years I lived there. I did that 4 times maybe or something.
Once a year is
once
really
a year,
special.
You know. Yeah, but no, I'm not a going out on the fucking lake and on purpose trying to catch a fish for no good reason.
Yeah, I'm not a fisherman either. But now I watched this documentary with an indigenous tribe that had learned a way to take this specific tree, and they beat the tree down, and they can stick this tree limb after they beat it and it releases its oils and all this kind of stuff. They stick it down in the water, like in a little small pool of water, and it just takes out all the oxygen, and it's just like throwing dynamite.
Oh, so
the
all
fish
the fish
just pop up.
Okay.
Yeah. So they take what they need.
Yeah.
And then they've learned a way to reverse it, which I thought was what you would appreciate and think is the best part of it, was the way that you release it is you just take a piss in the water and it reverses the deoxygenation.
This can't be true, is it?
I watched it on a documentary, and I'm like, holy shit! Yeah, it was wild. I did look it up, and yeah, I guess apparently I want to say it was in Brazil or something to that effect. But
man, I tell you what, the last time I went to South America, for some reason I took a fishing rod with me, because the first time I went, we took a bath in the fucking river. So, you're seeing all these cool fish, and I thought, I'm going to take a fucking rod and reel down there. I'm going to go catch a goddamn river monster or something. No, number one, I got down there with no bait whatsoever, and I don't know what to call him, the little guy there that was kind of helping us out, the little guide, told me, he said, just flip over anything and find something that's moving and put it on your hook. Yeah. So that's what I did, and I didn't catch shit. I stood there at a river in a jungle with 10 million fucking things swimming around, looking at whatever bug or worm or some bullshit.
Just laughing at you.
Just laughing. Look at this white guy.
So we're
out here thinks he's gonna catch us.
We're dodging anacondas and piranhas,
motherfucker. I think they were offended that I was even trying. But I didn't catch shit. It just lent itself to the miserable trip I had that time. But
I can't help but think in like situations like that, or for FM on the woods, because there's so many movies out there, like cartoon movies. I instantly will, in my head, in those situations, whenever you have those comical things where they're not biting, I have this dialogue in my head of just like a cartoon. They're down there having a conversation about what an idiot I am.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Maybe that's just the self-deprecation part of me, is these goddamn fish are laughing at me. What the fuck? I've come out here and embarrassed myself in front of this fish and this fucking tour guide.
Traveled for hours.
Yeah.
Flew hours to get there.
Yeah. Fucking on 3 different airplanes. Yeah, I can see. They tell you, talk about pissing in the river. They told us while we were down there, don't piss. Because you take a bath in the river down there. Don't piss in the river because there's
little amoebas,
little fish that'll swim up your dick hole, and there's jaguars and all anacondas and caimans and all kinds of bullshit.
The amoeba up the piss hole.
That is what scared the dog shit out of me.
Sir, yes, sir. I
will not piss in the river. And I wonder if that's just what they tell all the kids down there to keep them from pissing up the river where everybody at. But it's a huge river. Everybody in the village could line up and piss in it and be gone in 3 seconds. So,
it's going to be diluted.
Yeah, the solution for pollution is dilution. I've always heard. Heard that somewhere.
What do you know good?
I don't know. Oh, I tell you, in good news that I got just a few minutes ago, right before you texted me, the lady from the bank texted me and said, if you're a big enough idiot to buy that building, we're big enough idiots to give you the money.
every idiot on board. Choo-choo.
So we might sit down here and figure out if we're going to craft an offer for that sumbitch or not.
Yeah.
After this is over. That's probably the best news I've got for you in particular. Past that, I'm going to Lexington this weekend to a reptile show. So in the morning, I'm going to get up and pack up all these fucking snakes.
I saw your Facebook post, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. Snakes, dog.
Yeah.
You're like, let me just sprinkle in a little bit of my life while I go along with it.
It's just a kind of... I don't make very many Facebook posts. I mean, I make a lot on the business pages and stuff, but I don't...
Typically, if I see something on your Facebook, it is something pointing towards a business thing. We've
talked about this at length. I am not going to ever go out and repost some spun news story or some bullshit like that.
I think that's our demographic, though, because I think if you look, almost all of our demographic, I feel like, that is in that 45 to 50, 55-ish range, kind of that
Gen
ballpark,
X,
that we have Facebook, and, we're going to put stuff on maybe for holidays, maybe vacation pictures or something. But for the most part, we're not posting every day.
Yeah, I am not posting anything controversial. I'm not telling you really anything about my life. I'm going to post pictures of the dogs or the snakes or some bullshit like that. And, that's what Facebook is for in my mind. The people that get so wrapped up in fighting with each other on there, I don't understand it. I really don't. Facebook is all about cute dog posts, as far as I'm concerned. If I had a cat, it'd be the cats. But I'm trying to think what else, man. I just been trying to finish or keep working on one building, trying to think about possibly buying another, and taking care of 1 million fucking snakes at this house. Past that, I got nothing. Nope, that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's it. I'm done. I do have a question for you, although I feel like we've not thoroughly beat what's going on in our lives up enough probably to whip out a real question yet, though. I don't think.
Interesting.
I don't know. Have we? I mean, really? It's been like 7 whole days. There has to be something more exciting than you've learned how to fucking fish.
Well, I mean... a lot of Christmas stuff.
Oh yeah, you sent me that fucking picture the other night of your damn Christmas decorations. Did you notice mine when you pulled up?
I did not.
That's because I don't fucking have any.
You know how long that took me to put up that little display I showed you?
How long?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Oh really?
And that's because I had to go get a different extension cord because the one I had a short. Plug in.
Yeah.
Voila.
That's very me, keeping an extension cord with a bad spot in it. I will do that. I'll plug it in, blow the breaker.
Dixie was sitting there playing with it because it would come on. And I was, it was like the Griswolds. And then it was like, wah, wah, wah. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it. Just throw it away.
I get it.
Because I'm the same way. I will keep it because if you bend it most times and you just hit that right spot, you're like, all right, it's going to go. Just let her down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually got rid of it.
I have considered, since our conversation last time, doing some Christmas decorating, but I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. I might go get myself a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
There you go. I'm telling you though, if you do like I did, which is basically just have something, a power source that so one extension cord, a power source that you just shove into the ground, and then just get those little projectors, and then it's on the side of the house. Well, you look all festive.
You just reminded me of something. You said power source. This is way off topic. I don't even know if this is podcast material, but it's a question I got for you because I'm in the middle of it. Last week, I got a guy to come here and give me a quote again, because I did this last year, on a whole home generator.
Okay.
Do those pay for themselves when I sell this fucking place? Does anybody give a shit if a whole house has a whole home generator?
Most people, their response is, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah, yeah, but
are you? Yeah, and is there a line item on the appraisal sheet that says, "Oh, this gives you $1,500, $2,000"?
No,
probably not.
No.
I think there's some value there, but it's not going to be anywhere. I would probably say it's so much like a storage building or a pool.
So what I did is, I think I prepared myself for the fact that this generator was going to be $20,000. Okay.
Well, then you were pleasantly surprised.
I told myself that. I said, this is going to be $20,000 fucking dollars. And then when he got here, he gave me a quote. Now, really, I only wanted it to be like 10. But I prepared myself for 20. He gave me a quote that was 14. And I thought, well, okay, that's way under what I was thinking. Mentally, I played Jedi mind tricks with myself on it. But then I had to call Columbia Gas about getting gas here. They want $10,000 to bring natural gas to this house.
Holy crap.
A propane tank is $4,000 plus filling it. That's just to get the tank. It's $4,000.
To rent it?
No, you can
lease it.
Them. You can lease them for $200 a year, but they won't allow generator customers to lease them.
Why?
I guess because you don't use enough gas. If the generator's the only thing running it and we don't have electrical outage this year, it's not going to use any fucking gas. So they won't allow you.
We know how to fix that.
Yeah. So they won't let you lease them. So I have to. All in here, we're right at 20 fucking grand. And now I'm really starting to rethink, is this worth doing for the 5 days a year that I lose electric? But the truth is, for me, in the current situation with all the snakes and the fish tanks and all that bullshit, it kind of is, because I could lose a whole bunch of money in coral and critters real quick here.
Yeah.
If it's below freezing and them without electricity. Plus, I like it cushy. I don't like being cold.
Yeah.
I don't like it being dark. I don't even like to sleep when it's dark. I leave the lights on when I sleep.
I feel like that investment, you won't see the return on it unless power goes out. You have the generator, and now you've been able to survive the snakes. Because if not, that would be awful for you.
Yeah, the other thing is I'm gonna have to disclose probably. The fucking snakes were in here if I ever go to sell this place. Probably going to have to be on my disclosures. I know what we'll do. If you ever show this house to somebody, I'll leave here and take a car to the end of the street and hit a telephone pole. The electric will go out, and then it'll kick right back on while they're standing in here looking at it, and they'll go, fuck, that's cool. That might be a little over the top, but
yeah, taking out telephone.
You gotta have a plan.
Rest of your neighbors.
Yeah, you gotta have a plan. Anyway, all right, let's do your question first. I have one this time. I'm just gonna tell you, I have one. I don't know if it's something we should discuss on a podcast, but we're going to. But you hit me with yours first. That way we can wrap up with mine.
So, my question revolves around the time of the year that we're at now, and thinking back. I was thinking about this the other day because kind of thinking back through the 90s when we were really, quote unquote, growing up for real.
Yeah.
And Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas.
I don't think it matters. But I'll let you keep going.
Well, no, I was just curious of what your thoughts were on that because, some people get so wrapped up and so offended if you say Happy Holidays because they're like, it's Merry Christmas, damn it. I've heard those things. And
I've heard both of them my whole life.
And the thing is what prompted me to kind of come around to this question was we've heard it our whole life.
Yeah.
Because it started being a thing in the late 80s, early 90s. And so we've always kind of grown up with it being more or less just trying to show respect to people. It was never an offense. It was never meant to be an offense. It was always meant to be, you may be Jewish and you're doing Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever, your thing is. It's just saying, hey, we respect you, and
to me that just loops in Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
But have you not?
And whatever. It is a matter of supreme fucking indifference to me.
Yeah. Have you never seen people get offended by...
I have. I've definitely seen...
It's Merry Christmas, damn it.
Yeah, I've been to my dad's house enough and seen enough Fox News to fucking know that they're real pissed off about it a lot of times. Yep. And likewise, CNN stays pissed off about it too because people get mad about it. So I'm not pissed off whether you say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, fuck you, see you later, bye, kiss my ass, any of it. I don't give a fuck what you say when whatever. Happy Turkey Day, Happy Kwanzaa, Festivus. Any of it. I don't care. None of it bothers me whatsoever. And I think it is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Not just this. It's not just this. There's 1,000 other fucking phrases or whatever that have become
corrupted.
Corrupted, yeah.
I think that's the right word, corrupted.
Yeah. What's funny is I started to use the word triggering, but that's one of them.
That triggers me.
Yeah. Triggers is one of them. It's one of those words that pisses people off a lot of times, and I don't understand that either. I mean, 90% of and it's because somewhere down the road, I'm going to say it was 10 or 12 or 15 years ago. This is not a recent occurrence. Somewhere along the line, politicians learned that creating these little fucking words, catchphrases or whatever, really worked for them a lot.
And if we want to get into politics,
and to be honest, Trump is the master of them. He really is. He's got a fucking nickname for everybody, and I don't give him much credit for anything, but I'll give him a whole lot of credit for, man, he's good at that. He's good at getting his people to adopt a phrase and also adopt a phrase to be pissed off about. He's really good at rallying his people.
That a lot of times mean jack shit.
Yeah. Most of them are just dumb. But gosh, it pains me sometimes that people on both sides of the aisle or on both sides of the political spectrum are so susceptible to those things and so, how quickly they will adopt them.
Yeah,
and again, on both sides of that argument, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but my dad gets it just as bad as some of the girls that work for me, on both ends. Yeah, and none of it matters, man. As I get older, I really think, I know and love some people that feel immensely different about the state of the world than I do, but I always think that's just their fucking prerogative, whatever. I don't see it that way, but if you do, fucking good on you. Sometimes it changes my internal opinion of things a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes I think, well, I just got to see it from their point of view a little bit or whatever. I don't know, man. That whole argument is just a bunch of bullshit. At least that's back to the whole happy holidays, Merry Christmas thing. Either one is an expression of goodwill.
Yeah. That's the thing that baffles me when people get upset is because they're literally just trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
That is all they are. They're not like, oh, watch this. I'm going to say happy holidays and watch their head spin. Nobody fucking does that.
Yeah. At the same time, I look at this a little bit, and this is somewhat connected. I'm really bad, and this is the old white guy peeking out through me. I'm really bad to call, especially girls, darling or something like that. And it's the piece of Southern in me, which Kentucky's not really Southern, but at the same time, we
get the tendencies.
Yeah. I'm bad to go through the McDonald's drive-thru and say, thank you, darling, or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, that is simply an expression of nicety to me, but then I realize I usually catch myself doing it and go, I shouldn't fucking do that. That makes me an asshole. Or at least it is some people's opinion that makes you an asshole. Yeah. And I try to see that through their viewpoint. But I don't remember exactly who it was, but some celebrity went on a Twitter tirade couple years ago about in an airport, somebody called her honey or something like that, you know. Just, it's a very Southern thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, honey. You know, or whatever. And she was fucking pissed about it. And I thought, I get it. But also, geographically check yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I remember whenever
maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember whenever I was doing pharmaceutical sales, and we had a lot of sensitivity training, and we had there was a lot of thoroughness to make sure we were doing things properly. Yeah. So a lot of that kind of stuff that I feel like I would have had, like the babe or those kind of things, were kind of beat out of me just by the nature of my environment and training and those kind of things. And I remember going into, I was down in Eastern Kentucky, and oddly enough, probably 85 to 90% of physicians in Eastern Kentucky are not from Kentucky.
True.
You know, they're from other parts of the world. And I remember going into several locations, and there's a lot of them that are Muslim. There's some that are different religions and these things like that. So whenever I go in there, I was always mindful. I'd usually say happy holidays or something to that effect. And if I was with the nurses, I may say Merry Christmas or so, you know, depending on, you know, those kind of things. And I had multiple physicians at different times say, hey, just a heads up. We don't celebrate Christmas because it's not, you know, our thing, or we celebrate it different or whatever, but we're not. It's not going to hurt our feelings if you slip up and say Merry Christmas. And it was just, they're like, I appreciate it. I appreciate you trying to do that. But their response to me was like, I want to show you I appreciate who you are, and it's okay. I don't think that other people get nearly as offended as what we do, thinking they should be offended.
That's where that's the rabbit hole you were leading me down there.
Yes. I'm going to fight on your behalf. I'm good.
How much of this, like, I don't know if I've ever in real life had someone check me about saying either. In real life, I don't know if anybody's ever said to me, sorry, Merry Christmas offends me, or Happy Holidays offends me.
See, now that, honestly, I have had people push back on me multiple times. Not over the top rude, but kind of like, to me, a little dickish, that I have said, you know, well, Happy Holidays, and he's like, I celebrate Christmas, so you can say Merry Christmas.
Now that you say that, that has happened to me before, but no, not the other direction. Exactly. Not the other direction. So how much of the being offended by things is created? You know, I think there's a lot of problems out there that people, again, both sides of the political spectrum, see as huge problems that you can't literally go put a name or face on.
Oh, I think that's all politics is at this point. There's nobody that ever talks about real major issues that can be affected and changed. Yeah. It's all about talking points that they know will ignite their base.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I think that's just something that's developed over the last 20 years. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just because in the last 20 years I've become politically aware or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe it's always been a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my dad if it's always been a thing. Funny you were talking about that. My dad was telling me a story the other day that when he was 18, he moved to Lexington because my older brother was born, and him and my older brother's mother moved to Lexington to stay in some apartment that my uncle owned or something. I don't know. Her uncle owned. Somebody owned. Anyway, Dad got a job at a factory in Lexington, and he said, I got a job there as an 18-year-old white kid, and I was the only male that worked there on the factory floor and the only white person that worked there.
In Lexington?
In Lexington on the factory floor. It was somewhere where he was kind of an outsider or whatever, and he just went in putting job applications everywhere, and he got a place that hired him either through comedy or through whatever and said, put him out there with the black ladies. And he said, I was pretty timid at that time. He said, but those women taught me things that I never dreamed of. He was just saying basically what a good time it was working there and how they kept him completely embarrassed at any given point in time. And he said the last week he worked there, somehow another white girl came to work there. And he said they constantly kept putting him together with this girl and just playing social experiments with him and stuff. And he said it was the most interesting and fun job he ever had.
Yeah.
But basically what he was saying was, I thought I was offensive to some people. He said, but man, whoo, you get 50 old black ladies in a fucking building.
Gave it back.
And they give it right back to you. He said they like to eat him alive. But I don't know, man. I'm not offended by anything, really. You do you. I can't remember the last time somebody said something to me that, unless it was some sort of personal bullshit or whatever, that really offended my sensitivities or whatever. Can you? Has anybody really pissed you off with anything like that in recent history?
No. The only time that I really get offended by something that somebody says is whenever somebody is trying to be condescending.
Yeah.
Or clearly, show theirs is bigger than mine or something because they think it is or whatever. That's the only time that I really get offended by somebody, is like whenever they try to intentionally demean.
Yeah.
And that I'm not a big fan of, but just somebody saying, like I said, but it is interesting because I have never said Merry Christmas to somebody or whatever and then go, no, you mean Happy Holidays.
Right. Yeah.
Never flip that side. Yeah.
I was talking to an older guy the other day, and, this is Eastern Kentucky. And the subject of Tyler Childers came up, and this guy literally said to me, I really liked Tyler Childers until he started with the gay thing. And then I gotta quit listening to him. And I said, does that change anything about the music if you like the music? No, but I can't support him if he supports the gay thing. And that's a very Eastern Kentucky backwoods redneck kind of thing.
Oh, it's not just Eastern Kentucky. It's too much of a big issue throughout the United States.
Yeah, but also that's one of the things that I think probably could offend a lot of people, but at the same time, I just let that shit go in one ear and out the other. I got enough of my own fucking problems to worry about how.
You're saying the fact that he said that could offend people, or the fact that he...
Yeah, I'm saying...
The person you were talking to.
Yeah, I'm saying the person, if he'd have said that to the wrong person, they'd have went off the fucking handle about it.
To me, I think that...
And I think it's bullshit, I do, but I'm not enough to call somebody out over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got enough.
I almost feel like that is something that has been almost created by the political.
Yeah.
The gay rights and that kind of stuff. Because it's like, ooh, that's a topic we can get more people on our side for. Because, I mean, I feel like if you just leave it, it's not a fucking political issue.
It's like
if someone is, who somebody wants to sleep with or marry or any of that's not a political view.
I don't know. There's a lot of this. Like I said, I don't let shit like that sweat me anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their own opinions. I got mine. You're probably not gonna change mine. I'm probably not gonna change yours. Go for it. Whatever makes you happy. There's enough real problems on Timberland Avenue in Flatwoods, Kentucky, right here, for me not to fucking worry about too much else. And I know that's a shitty point of view, especially some people will say, well, if you have any kind of platform at all, you should be standing up for the things you need to stand up for or whatever. And I get that. I do. I'm just mostly not strong enough to do it, I think. I'm too self-absorbed to do it.
But I feel like that if something truly came your way that was fundamentally going to affect you, then I feel like you'd use whatever platform you needed to.
Or somebody close to my life,
Yeah.
Somebody wants to talk shit about somebody that's close to me, then we'll handle that internally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't get mad over generalizations, I think.
Yeah.
And again, maybe that makes me a shitty person. I don't know. I try not to. I'm a shitty person over 1,000 things, probably. Fuck it. We'll do what we can.
I think the biggest thing that I've tried to remember, and from having the privilege to travel a pretty good deal in the United States and outside at this point, people are fundamentally pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
People are usually pretty nice.
Yep, universally.
I'm never going up and saying, you Republican or you I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
You know, and I never had anybody, well, I can't say I've never had anybody ask me, but for the most part, I feel like that people are good. Yeah. And I think that's the problem with, you know, we can go down a huge rabbit hole with this, but I think that's the problem with social media, 24-hour news and all this kind of stuff, is that it clouds people's minds so much that they start getting amped up on shit because they're hearing it so much.
News makes money, man.
And you're getting fed. You know, that's the other thing, is all these social medias are just feeding you more of what you've told it that you want. So you just keep getting that reinforced. And I think that's where people are getting online and getting so hateful. But if you're actually out there with people without a political agenda or a message that's trying to be put across, so you're just living everyday fucking life, people are pretty fucking nice. I feel like most people are polite, you know, that different regions throughout the United States have different kind of social norms, and yeah, they may be a little shorter or they may be a little quick with their temper or something, but that's just kind of how they were raised. You know, if they came down here to, you know, Kentucky or something, they were like, God, fucking speed things up, you know, a little bit. So
when I first started the comic convention, all the celebrities that would come out would comment on, man, everybody out here is just so nice or whatever. And I didn't understand that until I went to California once. And then it's like and nobody's shitty. Nobody's shitty at all. But there's no time for nicety.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, everything's very matter of fact and very just cutting to the chase or whatever. And I think we live in part of the country where nicety has a value.
It's the beautiful part about living in the Midwest.
Yeah. Wait a minute, is this the fucking Midwest?
I feel like this is the Midwest.
Okay.
I feel like it's the end of the Midwest, but it's the Midwest.
I don't know if I've ever told you a story. At one time...
Or we can be Southern. I mean, we're kind of right on that tiptoe.
At one time on the Lexington Comic-Con website, I had a little blurb on there that said, one of the Midwest's best goddamn Comic-Cons. I don't remember what it said. But anyway, it said that Lexington was in the Midwest. And fucking people got pissed off over it and said, you are not in the Midwest.
What did they think we were in?
I don't know. Nobody could ever cough that up, but we are not the Midwest. And man, I got a lot of fucking messages unsolicited on fucking Facebook.
You know what their response to those people should have been?
What?
Happy holidays.
Yeah, probably. All right, we've beat that. But actually, I just had another... Man, ADD sucks. I had another good thought while we were talking, and now it's gone. It's just fucking gone. I'll probably think of it in a minute. Anyway, I do have a question for you, and I don't know if we should even talk about this on podcast, but we're going to, because I do think it's a relevant question. Because we never discussed this in the beginning of saying we're going to do a fucking podcast. We just threw this out here. You wanted to have a podcast, and I said, send me some ideas, and you sent me some of the best fucking thought out ideas ever. I didn't like any of them, or it's not that I didn't like any of them, I just didn't feel like any of them really fit me. And then you pitched this idea at me, which was, we're just going to do whatever the fuck. And I thought, well, you know, that's cool.
I can do that.
I can do that. That's great. No,
I can show up and talk.
Yeah, no bar to set there, or no bar to jump over, hoops to jump through. We'll just do whatever. But the thing that we didn't talk about is, I got to back up. I've been writing this business plan for this new potential business, and the other night I had ChatGPT tell me when the fuck to get out. Tell me some trigger points that I will know that things are going bad. And it gave me some really insightful good ones. It was like, okay, well, if cash flow or if cash in the bank exceeds or dips under this number for 2 consecutive months, or if sales fall under this number for 2 consecutive months, pull the trigger, get the fuck out. Here's what you do, whatever. Anyway, the thing we never talked about is, what's the lifespan of this podcast in the event that 6 years from now we're just doing this fucking shit for the 12 people that listen to it. You know, and I let me preface this with, I don't look at our metrics. I don't know what our metrics are. Have no idea what if 12 people or 1,200 people fucking listen to this.
Yep.
No fucking clue. but we never really discussed what our goals were for this or what the metrics are. What's the end game? What's the goal here with this? I mean, and I should preface that question by saying, yeah, fuck it, I'm along for the ride. I'm having fun, whatever. But I just wondered if you had any real end game in mind.
I had multiple end games in mind, or multiple thoughts in mind, depending on with each individual idea that we kind of came up with.
Yeah.
Or that I came up with and you kept shooting
and
down.
I shot down. Listen, I know I'm the asshole. And maybe another part of this question is there a point where we say, okay, well, we have to evolve this into something different?
Yeah.
To try to keep a fresh idea working or whatever.
Yeah. The good thing is we do consistently have more than 12 people listening, so that's that's a plus. But for me, I wanted to try to get to the point to where it made sense to get advertisers and then potentially pop those in there and then at least start having the podcast pay for itself. That's kind of my goal. If we can get to that point and then whatever it does from there, good. But if we can get to the point where we have enough data to show that somebody wants to start throwing money and go, hey, yeah, I'd like to be a sponsor and mention on that. That's got enough people. Awesome. Well, then now we're getting our catharticism and somebody else is paying for it. So in regards to, I've been paying attention to the numbers. They've been kind of slowly continuing to rise. But my thought is that, if that just suddenly falls off a cliff, then we have that discussion. Yeah, maybe we do this, but we just tighten up a little bit on how we kind of save it and put it out there ourselves with a little bit less bells and whistles. But
I was just looking, somehow we're 30. I think this is episode 39.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I've probably committed more to this than anything short of my last ex-wife, because that lasted 20 years. But, man, I don't know if I've committed 39 episodes to anything in my life. ADD's strong with me, and you've managed to overcome it somehow.
Kept wrapping you in.
Yeah, you keep wrapping me up in this shit. That's pretty cool. So we need a Patreon, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but we need we're getting pretty close to the point where
Listen, I'm not getting naked, though. Oh, man.
As far as evolution, one of the original things that I thought would be really cool for this, because I think if people listen, they probably figured out we're pretty similar and just kind of, I think we're similar in a lot of things, but very, very different in some others. And then how we enjoy life, how we do different things. Yeah. So one of the things that I thought from the very beginning that I thought would be kind of cool is we did a two guys, two questions kind of trip.
Yeah.
To where each one of us gets control of alternating days. And whatever in the fuck that person comes up with that we're doing, we got to do it. And just record every bit of that and then bring it back and just have that as additional kind of content. I thought that would be fairly interesting. I think people would probably ultimately enjoy it because I think we would be nice enough to each other because we like each other, but we're certainly going to end up bitching at times because it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I got to sit on this beach for how many hours?
Yeah. I mean, that's similar to the whole wife swap vibe or whatever.
Exactly.
Or whatever. By the way, I don't know if I ever told you, I was almost on that show once.
The wife swap?
Yeah. Because they want, and some other motherfucker beat me out. I don't know why. They wanted to take a wife who hated snakes and put her in a home full of snakes, and then vice versa. At the time it was my wife Jamie, send Jamie out with somebody else to take a couple snakes with her, or whatever. And we went, me and Jamie and both my kids and everybody had to go through an audition process and send in fucking videos and do phone interviews and all this bullshit. And we were like right there, about to fucking do it. And for whatever reason, they picked somebody else, and this show sucked. Same premise. They just picked a guy that I think they picked him because he was geographically closer, but they picked a guy that ran a show up in Detroit, ran a reptile show up in Detroit.
All right, you appreciate the story, but I got to get more backstory. How do you even get to the point to go, hey, Jamie, let's like a wife swap? What do you think about that? How do you even get to the first step?
They sent an email. They cold emailed me. I've been cold emailed by so many fucking reality show people over the years. And
really?
None of it works out.
See, I guess that's the benefit of being in the business.
In the promotion business.
I personally have never gotten a random cold email.
Yeah. So they cold emailed me and said, hey, we see you run a reptile show in Kentucky. Do you also keep reptiles at your home? And I said, yeah. And they said, well, we produce this show. And basically the thing was, you're going to give us a week of your life. We're going to completely disrupt your life for 1 week, and you're going to get paid $10,000. And at the time, $10,000 was a lot of fucking money to me. Because this is when I was 25 or something. It was, no, because Jackson was alive, and he wasn't born in 05, so I was 30 at least. Anyway, it was a thing. And then 2 years after that, they contacted me and wanted to know if I could provide snakes for another show. And they had all these fucking requests. And I said, yeah, I can do this. And here's what the bill will look like. And I sent them an estimate because they wanted me to, bring like 15 fucking snakes and come to a different state and stay for a week and on set and all this bullshit. And I said, here's what that's going to look like. And the bill wasn't much. It was like 5 G's or something like that for a week of my life and taking a helper. And they said, oh, sorry, we don't have that much budget. We'll have to find somebody closer or whatever. And that's when I realized that reality TV is made for pennies.
That's why they make it. It's just so cheap, but it fucking sells like a mother, though.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? We recorded I might find it and show it to you one day. We recorded what was it they call it? It's not a pilot. It's a
treatment?
No, we recorded a little fucking thing. Sizzler, that's what they called it, a Sizzler reel for a reality show based around the convention like in 2014 or 15. And we couldn't sell it. This production company approached us about making it and said, can we come there and make a show? And then basically what they do is these little production companies come there and they make concept reels or whatever. Then they try to sell it to Discovery Channel or A&E or whatever.
It's like a Pawn Stars.
Yeah, whatever. And I guess they couldn't sell it, but they told me when they made it, we're going to keep this, and we could sell it 10 years from now, or whatever. But I never heard shit else about that. I don't know. I always thought that one way or another I could have a decent reality show, which, by the way, let me pitch this idea to you. Nobody steal this idea. In this new hypothetical business adventure I'm talking about here, if we had a bunch of snake cages that all had cameras in the cage and live streamed them 24/7, would people watch them? Just snake chilling in the cage? Jackson says people would watch them just to fucking fall asleep. Is that snake going to move? Is it going to do anything?
I'm trying to think of how you would monetize, but I 100% think that if
people watch them, you're monetized. You're going to get paid per fucking hours viewed. And if you've got 10 cameras, let's say hypothetically 10 cameras that are streaming 100% of the time, surely you get enough people clicking in and out of them to generate some fucking revenue with it. And it costs literally nothing, the cameras.
And then just whatever bandwidth's a stream, or where would you? Do you have to have a website or something?
I'd stream it to YouTube.
Okay.
There's people on YouTube streaming TV static, white noise. And people are fucking watching it.
Yep.
I see people all the time streaming Rolling Dough or any stupid thing.
You have zoos that you can pop in and look at the gorilla or whatever. So
bald eagle cam. Look at the fuck. How many people watched them fucking bald eagle eggs about to hatch that never hatched?
Oh, I feel like that's something that we could flesh out, some conversations.
I'm thinking maybe you put a camera in the snake egg incubator and let people watch them hatch.
100%. Yeah,
anything like that. This day. And some people, and then I thought you could even go as far as you can monetize the gambling aspect of this. You can say, okay, there's 12 eggs there. Statistically, one or two of those snakes is going to be worth $300. We're going to sell every egg for $50. Name your egg.
That's what. So I was thinking about that, or you have a raffle for naming rights.
Yeah, or fucking anything. I figure there's 1,000 stupid ideas that you could do with hatching snake eggs on the internet.
I want that job. I want the snake money creation job. That would be a cool.
Yeah,
I like that. That's pretty sweet. I think there's a lot of things you could do with that. I love the idea. I sent you that message at like 1 a.m. or whatever because it was just running through my head. I was like, I love the idea of what you're doing. I don't know if it's going to fucking work.
I don't either.
But I feel like it can. Now, I feel like that it's going to take some baking and it's going to take some talking through of like, what do I want to happen here and what do I not want to happen? And how do I want to bring people through, those kind of things. Yeah. But
the biggest thing I want out of this is use the same footprint to generate 25 different revenue streams.
Yeah.
The same layout geared towards, we're going to do this, and this, and this. We're going to do this. We're going to do birthday parties. We're going to do fucking live streams. We're going to do fucking this.
Do trips for school.
Whatever. Yeah. I want to try to figure out that way diversification.
Yep.
That way when some...
Oh, I see it. That's what I said. I to start with, I was like, are you... What? What the fuck is... And then the more I thought about it and the different ways that things could happen with this and the solve of the problem, right, of the obsession you have that you can't...
Yeah. Well, like I said, the fucking bank told me if I was dumb enough to do it, they were dumb enough to get in it with me, so...
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I remember what it was I was going to say earlier. This is off topic, but on topic, sort of. It has to go back to... You were talking about social media feeding us our what ills. We want to see. Yeah, feeding us our ills. And TikTok taught me that I have a type.
Okay.
So I get all kinds of reptile videos. Okay, just people showing me, especially because I talk about it so much lately. I've just been so wrapped up in it lately that I get all kinds of fucking reptile videos. And there is a whole genre of young ladies on TikTok that are very attractive young ladies that have snakes and shit, and they're always, making videos. Look at my little snake or whatever, But in reality, it's look at me, kind of thing. But anyway, there's one girl that I watch a lot of her videos, and she's an attractive girl. She really is. But mostly she does have good reptile content. However, TikTok picked up on the fact that I watch her so much and started serving me a different girl that looks just like her.
Really?
And that does completely different things. And I was fucked up for a day. I thought, the reptile girl's showing her boobies on TikTok.
She's went rogue.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on? And then I realized it's two completely different girls, but TikTok has picked up on the fact that I watched the one girl, so I probably like this girl.
That's great. And it's amazing how different those feeds kind of show. Because I don't do TikTok much. Matter of fact, I don't do many of the little short videos.
Yeah, you don't do Reels or Facebook videos?
I occasionally, like Reels, I will give myself maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day, and it's usually listening to music covers. But Dixie, she builds in her day probably a good half hour to an hour.
Yeah, doom scrolling.
That's her... In the morning, that's my wake up kind of routine. And then at bed, that's 15 minutes before I go to bed. That's kind of what I watch to shut my brain off.
Me too. First thing in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to lay in bed and doom scroll for 15 minutes. And at least 15 minutes, depending on how long it takes me to fall asleep at night, at least 15 minutes. And then, taking a shit time. If taking a shit would normally take 12 minutes or would normally take 4 minutes, it takes me 12.
12.
It's
bad for the roids.
Yeah, I know it. God damn. But yeah, I do that a lot. And also, this is along the same lines. I have people all the time that I'll say, hey, did you see this on TikTok or whatever? And they'll be like, no, I don't watch TikTok. I thought I saw you watching videos. Oh, no, I watch Facebook Reels. I don't do the TikTok thing, the Chinese,
Oh, yeah.
Chinese. My privacy's too important. I watch videos on Facebook. I watch TikTok videos on Facebook.
Yeah, because Zuckerberg doesn't sell our information.
Right. I'm like, motherfucker, you are a redneck from Eastern Kentucky. What the fuck does the Chinese government want with your damn viewing history? Why do they need to know you watch fucking rednecks fight each other and trailer trash girls fucking whip each other's ass? I watch that a lot, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, redneck women fighting. There's nothing better.
Yeah, I can't.
There's nothing better. Gosh, you need to live a fucking day in my brain, man.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Oh, fuck. I do have a buddy that he and I send, gosh, I think you're allowed to say this. I don't know. That's not what they call it, but I send him videos of little people all the time. And I mean, like good-looking girl little people. And he sends me the same. So TikTok thinks I have a little person fetish right now, but it started out as just a joke. And now it's went way too far. And I get some of the best little people porn ever on TikTok.
Well, then it no longer thinks. It knows at this point.
Yeah, I guess it's smart. Whatever.
There's a reason it keeps feeding it to you is because it knows you're hungry.
No, it's because it knows, it shows it to me and I immediately send it. And I think that's what it picks up on, is that I
so you never watch it.
No, I watch it too.
Yeah,
I watch it too.
Yeah. So it gets a full clip watch.
Yeah,
and a share.
Yeah. And I say midget porn. It's not porn. It's just sexy little girls, little people, little adult girls, sexy little adult girls.
We're getting canceled.
Yeah, this is down the fucking rabbit hole. All right, see you. Fuck it, I'm out.
And just like that, another episode of Two Guys, Two Questions is in the books.
We laughed, we learned. Well, we mostly just laughed.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, congratulations. You now have random knowledge you never asked for.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Or don't, but just know if you don't, we're bringing back the squeaky toys.
Oh, it's coming back either way.
Until next time, same two guys, two questions, and absolutely no idea what we're doing.
Perfect.